Everybody's going to start talking about this like it's just another Middle East headline, and this is not. The president came out today and announced this operation or Project Freedom. And what this Project Freedom is going to do is basically the president has moved on from warning Iran to physically opening the Strait of Hormuz against their will. This is their last little piece of bargaining equipment that they have, and now it's gone. Their bargaining chips are finished. There are over 850 ships that are stranded within the Strait of Hormuz that can't get out. And today, the president announced Operation or Project Freedom, that we're going to use military assets. We're going to use ships. We're going to use maybe some submarines, maybe some drones, aircraft, helicopters, and jets to escort these ships through the strait safely. The strait is 21 miles wide. The channel is about 4 miles wide. It's typically 2 miles going in, 2 miles going out, basically 2 lanes. And right now, Iran is losing every bit of leverage that they have. And I've got some notes here because I didn't really want to miss anything. But beginning tomorrow, May the 4th, CENTCOM forces will support what is now being called Project Freedom of Navigation. And they're going to mission to restore freedom of navigation for commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. This is monumental. This is the world's probably one of the world's most important ports for the flow of goods and services. Oil and fertilizer. I mean, things that go through there basically keep the world fed and the world fueled. So this has to happen. And it goes on to say, if Iran tries to interfere, this could go from a defensive mission to a direct confrontation very quickly. Guys, I don't know about you, but I don't see Iran being able to control themselves. This is like somebody with an addiction, like a drinking addiction, and you just walked in and put a six-pack down on the counter, and you turn away and you expect them not to bother with this. But I really think Iran will not be able to help themselves, because these ships that are coming through, by getting them through the strait, Iran is not collecting this toll that they have been charging everyone. So this is going to get framed multiple ways. It's going to get framed as like this defensive mission to help these merchant vessels. But I believe this is independently neutral. And I think this is going to show the world what the United States Navy, what the United States military's capabilities are, and that we're not there in a begrudging fashion against Iran. We're there for the greater good. We're there because we want oil prices to come down around the world. We have our own independent oil supply, right? Every day that this blockade has been in effect has cost Iran about $500 million a day. Estimates right now are at $5 billion in lost revenue. So by us getting out who we want out, 850 ships, there's 20,000 sailors that are stranded on those ships that can't go anywhere, can't go home. Running out of food, running out of water, running out of fuel. Think about that. You're carrying 100 million gallons of oil, but you're running out of diesel fuel on your own ship. That's the irony. It's the irony as well with Iran that they are oil rich and cash poor. And the longer that they keep all of that oil on station, the more damage that they actually do to these other countries, their trading partners like China, like Russia. And this is like a faraway naval chessboard. And I believe the president has gotten his rook, his bishop, his knights, all of his power pieces, including the Queen, is sitting right outside of the Strait of Hormuz in the Gulf of Oman waiting for Iran to do something. And I believe Iran is out of power pieces. They're down to a few pawns if you want to take the chess mentality out of this. And when you back them into a corner, which they are, they could very well do something stupid. This is a narrow choke point. Like I said, it's 21 miles wide. Affects the entire world's economy. Does anyone watching this really believe that a country like Iran should have that much power, should have that much control over a farmer getting fertilizer in Nebraska for corn or wheat, or for the truckers here in the United States to not have a fairly priced gallon of diesel? Everything you own comes into your house on diesel. Tell me it doesn't, I'll prove you wrong. But if Iran interferes with this humanitarian mission now, it goes from Operation Epic Fury, where Trump is on the offensive, where we're doing kinetic strikes. Now this is a humanitarian ordeal, mission. We're talking you are keeping families alive, keeping people fed. If Iran interferes with that, the whole game has changed. The entire game has changed. And I don't know, like I said before, I don't know if Iran can help themselves from interfering in this. This is a test, basically, as to what Iran can use as a bargaining chip. Because if we get these ships out, now there's no room or no information right now about the ships being able to go back in. Let's get the ones out of there safely before something happens in the strait and we block it. It's only about 300 feet deep, 4 miles wide of passage where the ships go. If something were to happen and it blocks the strait permanently for some kind of long term, then Iran is in a real world of stuff. You know what I mean? We've yet to see a real Iranian leader come out on any video or TV or anything like that. We've not seen that. But they have to eventually, because nobody really knows who's in charge. Nobody knows who is pulling the strings. I mean, I don't. I can't think of anyone that is in charge there. But the risk is going up by every day that this is kept closed. And for the American people, the question's simple. Do we want a world where hostile regimes can just choke off the world? Or do we want a world where the United States still has enough strength to say no and to open up these waters for everyone? Is Project Freedom the right move to reopen the Strait of Hormuz? Or does this risk a lot of military lives? I don't know. Only time will tell. But I believe the president's going to make the right move. But as of tomorrow, Project Freedom and whoever's making up these terms for these operations, tip their hat, give them a pay raise. Project Freedom starts tomorrow. The flow of goods and services through the Strait of Hormuz continues. It gets back to some level of normalcy, or at least for the 850 ships that are trapped. They're going to get out. They're going to go home. They're the people that no one has talked about and that have really been forgotten. It's those sailors and those mariners on those merchant ships. I'll see you in the next one. This has been Dykes Show. Smash the like and subscribe button. Take care.